struggling to convert your leads into paying clients? Do you feel like you're just burning through all the opportunities that you generate? Hey guys, Evan here with Celebrity Maid, and in this video, I'm going to cover 5 of the top reasons why your conversion rates are suffering. Now, this is all based on actual data that we have from the clients that we work with here at Celebrity Maid. We've witnessed cleaning business owners that succeed and are able to scale exponentially, as well as those who aren't able to scale. And in sales, conversion rates is a big reason. So these are the top 5 mistakes that we've witnessed, and I'm gonna share it all with you. So let's start off with point number 1, and that is going to be that first impressions matter. When a prospect hears about your cleaning company for the first time, what is their first impression? You have to understand that a first impression influences someone's sales decision with you before they even speak to you. So think of the common objections or frequently asked questions that you've probably received before, such as, is your company bonded and insured? Can I trust these cleaners in my house? How many years of experience do you have? Do you have any clients that live near me, etc.? And you'll want to pre-address as many of these as possible. Now, how do we do that? Well, you do this with the content on your website, your Google business profile, your social media pages, your client testimonials, and so on and so forth. What we've seen is that a lot of cleaning business owners simply don't want to put the time into doing this, and then they suffer because they don't really have any online presence. This information is not available to a consumer, and now that prospective customer has no option but to assume that you don't have these things as a cleaning business. So it's really unfortunate to not invest your time into making these things well known. Now, the second thing is going to be speed to lead, meaning as soon as a prospect reaches out to your cleaning business, how quickly are you or someone from your team able to respond to their inquiry? This is one of the main deciding factors of whether or not a prospect will be able to become a client. Now, a lot of you guys have the wrong mindset with this approach. I recently spoke to somebody who told me that he felt desperate if he were to respond to a lead reaching out slightly after business hours. And I've heard similar stories from people before that they don't want to pester or bother leads by reaching out too quickly. And this is all a mindset block that you guys have to get rid of, because the largest cleaning businesses in the world, guess what? They have people on the phones 24/7 ready to handle any inquiry as soon as it comes in. And here's a fun stat that will blow your minds. The average local business owner takes anywhere between 17 hours to 44 hours to respond to an internet lead. Now, regardless of which number you want to look at, that is way too long. In fact, studies have shown that if you take anywhere more than 5 minutes to respond to an internet lead, your chances of converting them become incrementally smaller after each minute passes. So make sure that you or somebody on your team is going to be available to answer when a lead reaches out, because if not, that person is much more likely to contact the next cleaning business down the list and probably go with their service. So the good news is that you can partially automate this. In fact, one of the things that we set up for our clients here within Celebrity Maid is a series of automatic texts as soon as a lead opts in. And this is simply to initiate the conversation with the lead. So you could do the same thing with your business within your own software or CRM, where anytime a lead reaches out, just have some type of automated message to start that conversation, ideally within 1 to 2 minutes response time. And that alone will raise your chances of converting them. Point number 3, trying to close the sale over text. In my opinion, you should never be trying to close clients over text messaging, because your conversion rates are simply going to be lower than if you were to speak to them on the phone. Now, I know you guys might be saying, well, Evan, I close all of my clients over a text message. And if you are one of those people that the majority of your clients have been closed over text message, I would argue that you fall into one of these 2 scenarios. Either you're not charging enough for your cleaning services, or all of the people that you've spoken to have been referrals. The thing is, you guys should be charging lucrative prices because you want to be making healthy margins within this business. And I've seen it time and time again, 100% just focus on texting these leads and trying to sell their service over text message are the ones that usually fail, because it's so easy for a prospect to give you a price objection over text, and when they don't have the chance to speak to you, to actually feel comfortable with you, develop that connection, and also on your end, for you to bring out the pain points in them, get into their emotional side a little bit more over a phone call, you're at a disadvantage just keeping that whole conversation over text message. So text is simply to set up that phone call or that in-person estimate, if you do those, not to try and sell your service. One other thing I'll add to the text message is that sometimes people will have this long copy and paste message that they send out to pretty much everyone, which just lists out their service for a standard cleaning, for a deep cleaning, what their rates are per hour, hour, and then if they want to move to the next steps, to let them know. Not only does this just look super robotic and automated and is likely to get a no response from your clients, but it also shows that you didn't really take the time to address their personal needs. And that alone is going to put you at a disadvantage for that sale. So please stay away from those copy and paste messaging. Try and keep it as personal as possible. Now we're going to move into point number 4, and this is going to be failing to take control of the call. This is a huge problem for a lot of people. Who dictates the call is most likely who's going to win the sale. And what have we seen with companies that struggle to scale? You guessed it, the prospect usually dictates the call. So I want you guys to think of all of the objections that you've ever gotten during a sales conversation, which is, let me think about it, let me talk to my spouse, let me get back to you, etc. Most of the time, you'll get these when the prospect is the one leading the conversation. And this has to do through a multitude of reasons, but one of the main ones is just a feeling of distrust. If the customer gets this feeling that you haven't done this before, that you don't feel confident and convicted when selling your service, they're going to walk over you and they're never going to close. So some easy tips for this are to keep your questions as open-ended as possible. Try and avoid questions that would elicit a one-word answer. Another thing would be, don't keep your questions too logical. Make sure that you tap into the emotional side of the questions, things about their lifestyle, their family, what this means for them, etc. Also, small grammar nuances can really influence your sale too. So just even saying little things like, does that sound good to you, versus let me know at the end of a question really add up. We've seen these nuances to really influence sales between the very successful cleaning businesses that we work with and the ones that aren't very successful with their sales. If you're not already, I strongly advise that you guys listen to your sales calls or your assistant sales calls if they're the one doing the sales, because you will pick up on these things and it allows you an opportunity to improve. And guys, that moves me into point number 5, which is going to be giving up on the sale too early. I can't tell you how many people think that just because they can't close a lead today, that lead is trash and it's a lost cause. There's a quote that I like to say, which is that a no today could be a yes tomorrow. And that is the truth. When you guys are generating leads from all these different traffic sources, you have to understand that not everybody is going to close on day one, and that is totally fine. People have different sales cycles, meaning some people take longer than others to make a decision. And if somebody doesn't want to proceed with your service today, no worries. You have their contact information and you could still leverage your service for the future. So for example, doing things like email and SMS marketing, or even just calling these leads every few months to stay top of mind, can really ensure that you squeeze the juice out of your efforts to acquire them. We've really had to drill this into our clients' heads that are especially new with their cleaning business, because there's something called the popcorn effect, where you might be throwing in a ton of sweat equity and money into your marketing efforts and generating these leads. And then for the first week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe no business is coming in. And it tends to get very frustrating, right? But then all of a sudden you get that first sale, then you get that second sale, then you get those first 5 sales, then all of a sudden 10, 20 sales. And this all happens out of nowhere, right? So it really is kind of like hockey stick growth. So please just be patient and understand that the growth will pay off. Stay on top of your leads, keep nurturing them. You will get the sale eventually if you stay persistent. So guys, again, just to recap, you'll want to make sure that you're doing these 5 things to ensure your odds of converting these leads. That is going to be making a good first impression, contacting your leads as soon as possible, not trying to get the sale off of SMS, taking control of the call very early on, and being patient yet persistent with your leads. These 5 things have been the biggest game changers between our clients that are succeeding with our marketing system versus those that don't. And I want to make sure that you guys are in the former. The truth is, losers and winners actually have the same goal of growing. It's about who's willing to put in the extra work to get there. And when you have a strategic plan, it's much more viable. If you guys would like help implementing our system into your cleaning business, the link is in the bio. Click on that link, fill out a free survey, and you'll be prompted to schedule a call with myself or someone from our team, and we will chat about our marketing system to see if it makes sense for your cleaning business. Aside from that, thank you guys so much for watching this. Make sure you like this video if you found it helpful. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys for the next one.